Okay, so you raised a defect. What are the different stages it undergoes? That process we'll learn, and then I think we are good with that. In the defect, how to retest, I already told. When you raise the defect, how it will be retested, and we have seen that already. So till here we are done. So this one, okay. This is another very important severity and priority. Yeah. So let's discuss the severity and priority. Then I'll discuss on the defect life cycle. Okay, bug life cycle or a defect life cycle. So this is also important. Severity and priority. So you already know this terminologies in English language. Severity means so it affects a lot, right? That's a severity. Priority means okay, how much urgency you need to give for that. So that's a priority. So similar in testing also. So basically, when these terminologies are used only when it relates to uh, user story or a task or a defect. Mostly in defect cases, people will use this. Okay, so defect, okay. What is the impact with this defect? How much functionality is affected? How much business, going to be affected? So that will be discussed with this severity concept. So both severity and priority are so the parameters in the defect template. I have shown you already. So in the defect template, so we have these terminologies. I already shown that, right? If you take up this, so there will be a severity and priority cases will be there. This is the task, right? There is this is the defect. So if you open this, so there are some fields. Severity, can you see here? Severity and priority. Urgency is there, right? That's a priority. So these are the fields in the a defect template. When you're reporting the defect, so these are the fields you can find in the defect template. So that's the severity priority means. So whenever you are reporting a bug, you must provide the severity priority. So in the defect template, while filling all your data, you have to fill that. So severity of a defect is related to how severe a bug is. So usually severity is defined in the financial loss, damage to the environment, company's reputation, and loss of life. So all this comes under severity only. So severity means, okay, how much functionality is affecting due to this bug. So what is the severity level you can give? So that's the severity means. And priority means, okay, priority of a defect is, okay, how quickly a bug should be fixed. So then deploy that to live servers. It can be in the QA environment or UAT environment or production environment. So how quickly we can fix that and deploy and test it. So once the defect is fixed, you have to retest it. So that process we already learned that. So when a defect is a high severity, most likely it will be going to be given high priority only. High severity means it's a severe loss, right? Immediately it should be taken care. So that's why you will give high priority. So a low severity defect will normally have a low priority bug. So when high severity, high priority you can give, when the functionality is completely broken and your testing is so not moving forward, that means a blocker. You can give high severity, high priority bug. Any functional issues or something is blocking you, that you can give high priority, high severity bug. So although it is recommended to provide both severity priority, So when you're submitting a report, but generally you can give priority and severity, both you can give, and that's important. Later priority will be adjusted based on the impact that is so decided by uh, development team and so product owner, right? So based on the team availability, then they will review and they will change this severity and priority again. So high severity and high priority bug. You have to give one example in your application. So whenever we are going to the interviews, prepare this kind of scenarios in your application. If you have to understand your application first and give that. So high severity, high priority means it's a blocker bug. Something it is blocking you. Sir, I didn't test it. I don't know. I don't have experience. How can I tell this? No need experience. Just understand this. High severity, high priority means it's a blocker. So something you are not able to test that. Then you create impromptly. You don't need to test it. Something you can say, so this link is broken. Or some the entire this module, like add to cart module is broken. So that you cannot add a product to the cart. Our registration is failing. So that kind of things you can report it, high severity, high priority bugs. So this is the when major path through the application is broken. So main functionality is broken. That time you will give high severity, high priority bug. For example, in an e-commerce website, every customers get error message on the booking form, cannot place the orders. The product page throws 500 error page. 500 internal server error it was throwing. Then you can give high priority, high severity. So high severity, low priority bug. What is mean by this? Low priority means not that much importance, right? So, but severity is high. That means functionally broken, but there is alternative workaround. So it is not affecting much. That cases you can give high severity, low priority bug. This happens when the bug causes major problems, but it only happens in very rare conditions or situations. So, for example, customers who use very old browsers cannot continue with their purchase of the product. You can upgrade the browser version and you can use it. The latest browsers, it is working fine. That means there is an alternative workaround. It is not blocking you. So those kind of things you can so make it high severity, low priority bug. Because here the number of customers with very old browser is very less. It's not high priority to fix the issue. Then high priority, low severity bug. So this could happen when so their logo or name of the company, some spelling mistakes in the front page. That cases they will give high priority. So those are the severity low means is a basically small mistake but important one, and it is so lost to the company image will be damaged. So such kind of cases you can give high priority, low severity. That's not a functional bug. Functional means something not working. But here, okay, only logo is not displaying, maybe some spelling mistakes. There is no functionality here. So that's why we are giving a low severity. So it is important to fix that issue as soon as possible because it may not cause a lot of damage, but it's unprofessionalism like spelling mistakes or logo is not displayed, something like that. Okay, those kind of things you can give this priority. Low priority, low severity. So very minimal and UI issue. It's a very UI issue, usability interface issues. Those issues you can declare them as a low priority, low severity bug. For cases where the bug doesn't cause a disaster and only affects very small number of customers, both severity and priority are assigned low. So such cases you can give this uh, low priority and low severity bugs. Suppose the privacy policy page take more time to load that page, but who reads that privacy policy content, right? Whether it is loading or not, it will just check that, but it doesn't affect the customers. So that's you can give, or any small so in the last pages small alignment, nobody uses that. So such kind of things, you can give a low priority and low severity. But it's a function, it's not functional, it's just a small no UI issue. Okay. So that's all about severity and priority levels. And so there are, what are the defect tracking tools you have used? If they can ask you, you can tell Zira, ALM, Bugzilla. So now ALM, before quality center, now people are calling ALM. Then Jira I have shown you already. Bugzilla. Bugzilla is purely, it is a defect reporting purpose. Now people are using Rally. So Rally is another one, which is mostly you can manage uh, your user stories and bug reporting, tracking them, everything you can manage in the Rally. So that's another tool like Jira, like ALM. Okay. So the ALM also very useful. Uh, you can report the defects, you can write the test cases, you can execute the test cases. A lot of things you can do in this ALM tool. So it's a paid version. This is also paid are there, but so this is the costly one. That's why very rare people will use this. But mostly Jira and Rally nowadays people are using. Okay, so Jira, as I mentioned, it's one of the project management tool to plan, track, and release the softwares. And this is widely used tool uh, in the companies. It is developed by Australian company Atlassian, and so it has a lot of uh, other features, like you can integrate Jira with so one more internal communication purpose we'll use. So there is a uh, one more tool, I'll tell that. And then you have a Confluence. You can create the documentation. You can create the documentation here itself with this Jira software. And see, you can, as I already mentioned, the Jira board, right? I have shown you. So you can maintain the Jira board like this. You can plan, you can track, and you can everything, which person it is assigned, where is this, and all you can manage here with this Jira tool. So this is the Jira workflow, and so this is the, again, yeah, this is the very clear, right? You can see like this to-do list, in progress, in review, testing. You can add multiple. I added in testing, right? In our then done. So this is how you can see the Jira board. Then there is a so uh, in Jira there is a bug tracking, bug life cycle. So bug life cycle or a task life cycle is, so once it is in the backlog and it will be pulled, when you report a defect, it's a new, or it is assigned to the person new, then it's ready, refinement will happen here. And then, so you can start in progress. Once it is in development in progress or in testing. So first they will be reviewed and it will move to testing. Then it will take user feedback. Then, so it will be resolved and done. So finally it will be done. So that's the one life cycle of any user story or anything. It will go like this. All these user stories will, all these statuses will be there. So when you want to book a flight, so this is another user story. See, there are four modules here: registration, ticket options, booking, payment. These are the four modules in the flight booking. So you can take up these scenarios and you can create a test cases. So I want to see this test case design. Every day one scenario you have to write the test cases and you share with me in the Excel sheet. So in the same format. Okay, that's important. So there is another tool, application lifecycle management tool. It is owned by Micro Focus company, and so it is used to track the task, track the defects, and project management tool. And there are four modules here: dashboard, management, requirements, and testing. So in the testing, again, you have sub modules like test plan, test lab. So these are the different test plan is used to create the test cases based on these requirements. The mapping will be there. In the test lab, you will pull these test cases here uh, and you will execute the test cases in the test lab. So the defect tab, you can create the defect, you can track the defect, you can search the defect, everything you can do with the defect tab. So that's the ALM modules. When you log into ALM, you can see all these modules. Any questions till now? And so the last one, bug life cycle. This is another very, very important one. So they will ask you all this, whatever I'm explaining now, explain same way there also. Any interview, if they ask this exactly, to explain the same way. So what is a bug life cycle or a defect life cycle? Both are same. When you report the defect, till the close of the bug, what are all the status it will change, or what are all the status it will undergo, that process is called defect life cycle or bug life cycle. So when you report a defect first time, it will be in new status. It will be in new status. And then once it is accepted by the development team, and they will be change it to open. And if it is a valid, and it will assign to particular developer. If it is not valid, and they will make this as an invalid bug, and they will close that bug. So here, new, open, and then invalid or duplicate. So duplicate means somebody reported before you. Then they will mark this defect as a duplicate bug of that bug. And then they will close that bug. So that's this line. And if it is a valid, and it will assign to particular developer, and then developer will start working on that in progress. If he started working on that, it will be in progress. Once he worked and completed his development, and he will change the status to dev completed or fixed. So resolved something, he will change to resolved or fixed. Okay. And then there is option, retesting option. So fixed after, the status will be retesting. So you will change option here, retest. So there is an option here, retest option will be there. So first in progress, once the fix is done, and developer will change the status to fixed or development completed, and then he will change the another status, retest. So when the retest will be changed, fix is done and your deployment is done on the environment, then he will change to retest. So in the retest, the testing team will came into picture here. The retesting. What is mean by retesting? I already told this terminology. What is mean by retest?
To see whether any new bug has been found in untouched areas.
No, that's not retesting. You're confused with retesting and regression testing.
Regression testing. Okay. Yeah.
This the meaning itself is, madam,
There,
retesting.
testing this, yeah, which has been fixed is once again test.
No. Already failed one. You are, yeah, after fixing the defect by the development team, the failed one you are retesting one more time to confirm whether the fix is working or not, whether the failed test case is working or not. That's the simple answer. So that's a retesting means. Okay, if the retesting time, the test case failed, what you will do, you will reopen the defect. There is a status reopen, and you will assign back to same developer who worked on this, you know, right? And you will assign back to same developer. With all the comments, you will write all the comments, all the screenshots, you will show that again. So in this environment, QA environment, I tested it and it's still not working. So then you will reopen and assign to the same developer. Yeah.
Ramesh Mundraj here.
Yeah, Mune.
Yeah. The retexting shall we convey like otherwise due to any reason. Sometimes like the testing may be stopped due to server down or something in the middle of the testing. That time also again we need to perform from the scratch.
That is okay. Yeah, that is no, you're continuing your test case execution in the first iteration. Maybe some environment issue you can restart up, but
retesting again starting retesting.
But this one is bug fixes retesting. This one.
Yeah, here was testing perform same again the same testing.
Yeah, one only the failed one you will test. Only here.
Yeah,
failed one only will retest. That's called bug fix verification or retesting. So that's the no, the fixed bug. So you will once again confirm the fixed bug is working or not after the fix done by the development team. If it is working, they will close it. So if the test case is passed, they will close that bug. If it is not fixed and still no issue occurs, still issue exists, and they will reopen it. Same defect they will reopen with some comments. You have to mention clear comments and any logs and screenshots, add them so that it's a proof. So always proof is important for testing. You have to take up the screens and you have to write any logs are there. You can take the logs and give it to them. So that's all the bug life cycle. So what are the bug life cycle means? When you report the defect first time, the status of the bug is new. In the bug trace meeting, you will discuss whether the bug is valid or invalid. If the bug is valid, it will assign to developer and change the status to new. Sorry, open. If the bug is invalid, they will change the status to invalid and that will be closed immediately there itself. If the bug is duplicate, already reported by some other tester or somebody else, and you reported again the same issue, so your bug will be invalidated or making as a duplicate to that bug, and they will close this bug also. That's a two statuses here. Invalid is something, maybe you misunderstood the requirement or your testing steps are not good, something that's not a valid bug. That case they will make it as invalid. A duplicate means, okay, your bug is valid, but somebody already reported before you. That time they will change that as a duplicate and they will close that. So if you're making duplicate means you have to give that bug number in this bug. Then only you can close it. That's this loop. Okay. Now come to this loop. Okay, you assign to development team, right? So the developer will start working on that. When he start working on that, he will put the bug in the in progress status. In progress status he will keep. That means he started working on that. Once he fixes the defect, and he will change the status to fixed. And then after fixing, he has to deploy that code into that testing environment. Once he deploys and ready for testing, he will change it to retesting. So he will change the bug to retest. Now, what he will do, if the bug is on his developer name, now he will change the status as a retest and assignment also to the testing team member. Suppose Janani reported this, and now the developer name will be there here until this status. Once a retest is changed from fixed to retest, now the assignee name will be Janani, not the developer name. Okay, so understand this, how the assignment will change, assignee status will change. All this you need to understand. This is the assignee, right? This is the assignee. I can change, I fixed this. I can change it to Janani like this. I'm the developer, I fixed it, I can change it. So that's how the bug status will be changed, and also assignment also will be changed. So then it is working, you close that bug. So you have option to close. Okay, you have option to close status. So here status will be there. You can change it. The status, I think status column I need to add here. So status column will be there. You can close that. So different statuses. And then, so if it is not closed, you can reopen. Send to the developer. So this is what you are going to do. Okay, clear on the bug life cycle? Any questions here? That's all about bug life cycle means. And so I'll give very high level testing types. Then we can close for today, and tomorrow onwards we can start so core Java. Okay. Or you need a test case designing, one more examples, and we will do that tomorrow. If not required, we can do that. Okay. So what are the different types of testings? We have a functional testing types, non-functional testing types, and security testing. These are the three layers. Functional testing types are different. Non-functional testing types are different. Security testing is different. Nowadays, three verticals are there in the testing areas. So we comes under functional testers. We will test only functionality of the application. The functional testing can be manual testing and automation testing. Manually, what are the different type of testings you will perform? So let's see, functional testing, so many are there. I haven't explained test levels, but I'm going to cover here unit testing, component testing, integration testing, system testing, end-to-end testing, user acceptance testing. The smoke testing I covered already, sanity testing, regression testing covered, black box testing, white box testing already covered, user interface testing I already covered. So, and there are a few ad hoc testing and exploratory testing I'm going to cover here. So a very important one I'll cover. Unnecessary, all different type of testings I don't want to give. So mostly used ones we'll discuss. Rest of them we can ignore because we don't want to waste time here. Okay. But so those are important in the interviews they will ask. Okay. So make sure you are good with these definitions. Okay. First, what is unit testing? So as I mentioned, unit testing is done by developers. So whether they have written code is working with some sample data or not, they will check. They will write the unit test cases. That is called JUnit test cases or something. They will write their unit test cases and they will test their function is working or not. That is called unit testing means. So unit testing is performed by development team and it's a micro function of the application. Every unit, every function is tested by development team on that development environment on their machine. That is called unit testing. And there is a component testing. A component testing means a particular module, like a registration, one module, or payment, another module, or browsing a website, another module. So individual modules is tested thoroughly, functionally, whether it is working or not. That is called component testing or module testing. Testing the individual component or module is called component testing. So this is done by a testing team. So on the testing environment. Okay, so let's join back and we'll discuss on integration testing. Okay, any questions?